Yeah.
What about homosexual couple? Can't they still have that fruitful unity between them?
No, not to be biologistic, but just on that, I suppose in that biological level, we look back to Genesis that God created the man and woman, and that man and woman is a good. The Catholic Church sees male and femaleness as a very good thing. Sometimes society says, oh look, it's not about whether you're male or female, that's a social construct. The Church says, no, you are male and female, that's important. So to the homosexual person who might have that attraction, then they can't enter into it because they're not really opening themselves up to live out that good they were created for. Because it does really matter whether you're male or female, that's important. Equal, but complementary to each other. Yes?
So can you talk about the distinction between natural contraception?
Yes.
So like, you can use like rhythm method or whatever, as opposed to...
I wouldn't suggest you use the rhythm method because it doesn't work. Everyone's talking about the rhythm method. The Church doesn't really say that's a great way to go anymore. It's a very...
People would know the difference.
Yeah, only people. There's different. Basically, the Church would say that you need to have your love always open to fertility, but you can engage, and anyone would know that a woman's not fertile all the time, so you can well and truly engage in sexual union at those times. The difference is when you deliberately say, no, we're going to play God, and we're going to engage now. So the whole contraception wasn't invented to... it was invented basically so people could just have sex whenever they wanted. And the Church is saying, well, we've got to be balanced people. We can't just be crazed lunatics in any area. So there is a difference between one and the other. So, yeah.
What if there's a couple that like love each other like totally, but physically unable, like due to disability or something, like to physically have sex? Is that still a marriage? Like, does that count?
It depends how if a couple are unable, this is sort of canonical and theological, but if a couple are really unable to engage in a sexual act, then that would be a bit of a problem because the consummation of marriage is the sexual act, it's a very sexual union. So in canon law it used to be that if you went to get an annulment, get your marriage annulled or broken up, one of the questions was, had you consummated the marriage? If you hadn't, then there was that possibility it could be annulled. But no, that is the real... If you can't consummate your marriage, that's a problem. Yeah.
I just looked at a side question really relevant. With Mary and Joseph's marriage, if it wasn't consummated, is it still married?
Yes, it is still marriage. That's a good example. Mary and Joseph, I suppose they were called a bit of a separate issue, having the Son of God. But Mary was obviously someone who gave up her virginity for God, like the celibate who gives it up for the Lord, and Joseph and her didn't engage. Mary had already given up herself to the Lord, so she was always a virgin. Joseph, there was a great deal of love between them, but he entered into that as the foster father of Jesus, so as the carer of Jesus. So they were married, but it wasn't. I know I mentioned that actually well.
What was that children?
Wait a second.
But they speak of it as a uniquely Josephine marriage. A one and only kind of special case because of the
special situation.
Yeah.
So like the idea of Mary conceiving obviously without having sexual union with anybody is a unique situation.
So it's just an exception.
It's an exception, but there are couples who very occasionally might choose that, but I'd say there are more exceptions. You really need to consummate that marriage. It's a very good question, and I think I will endeavour to find the answer to that and post it to you soon.
Can I just add to that? The reason for the Virgin Mary and Joseph and having him the carer is because the Jewish belief back then, whoever a lady had a son or any birth without having a father was considered a sinner. So they were stoned to death. So the reason for that is because God asked, or through the angels, asked Joseph to take care of that in order to protect Virgin Mary and not actually, at that time, not actually say that she was virgin because no one would have believed her. Another thing is for Jesus to be divine and not having the original sin. For the original sin, you need your father and the mother to actually give you that original sin.
Yeah.
Whereas with Mary, no man actually touched her.
True.
And that's why Jesus Christ is believed to be divine, and not because he was special. Of course, like, I mean,
No,
they're
right.
special, but to have that original sin, Ani Pamanda, to actually give me from Adam. Whereas Christ cannot have that original sin, and it is proved because you need actually two things to give you that original sin, and that's Adam and Eve.
So you're right. It's right. It's a good point. Smart man. I like it.